Obviously, animals are having their heads cut off in slaughterhouses. You definitely wouldn't trade places, so therefore you should be vegan.
I would give my life for certain circumstances, you know.
But animals are not consenting.
Because I know that I'll never die.
Animals don't consent to go in slaughterhouses. They're not willing participants in slaughterhouses.
What about all the men who have gone to war?
What does men in war have to do with animals being killed in slaughterhouses?
They died, did they?
Yeah, but then...
They died because of politics.
But
They died
that's...
because of politics.
But that's a completely different subject.
Is it
We're talking
really?
about animals
Death.
who are not willing participants being sliced in the neck, cut up into pieces against their will.
Okay, so my thoughts on this are complicated because I don't know how tough it is to be on the street having conversations like this. I have conversations all the time, almost daily, with people about veganism and politics for a different channel. And sometimes you slip up. Sometimes you say the wrong thing. Sometimes you don't think of the right things. So me watching this, I kind of view reactions like this almost like a person watching a chess game. You might not be as good as either of the people in the conversation, but you might spot something they didn't, so you can share that idea. I think she made a mistake here. And I think what people should do when they're out having conversations like this is they should show they're listening. If you're having a conversation and it seems like you're just talking past the person, then they're not gonna care about what you're saying. So you want to make sure that you're taking in what they're saying and they can see that level of respect. So when you're talking about chickens not consenting, and then he compares it to the idea of men going to war and dying, that was actually a wildly good comparison. And it doesn't stop the idea of veganism being good, but you just brushing it off as, oh, that's a different topic. No, that's not good, because he's comparing it to something and you're just ignoring it. You should at least stop and think about it. I know it might not seem great for the video, although you edit the videos anyway, so you could edit this part out. But you could stop and say, interesting, let me think about that for a second. And then you can go, yeah, like maybe there shouldn't be a draft. Maybe people shouldn't be forced to go to war. Or you could, say desperate times cause for desperate measures. And you could have any reaction you want to it, but you could point out that if there's a situation where we feel like if we don't go to war, then our country might get invaded and then more people will die. So we justify it and we decide it through our government or, whatever. And then you can point out, but these animals, we do not need them, and they don't consent, and there's no justification for it, and show the differences, I guess. So I don't know. That's a very complicated thing. Obviously, it doesn't. One thing existing that's bad doesn't make another thing that's bad existing something that you just have to deal with, which is a thing people say all the time. They'll say, "Oh, the world's terrible, so let's just keep eating animals." Obviously, that's not the right answer. So you can rebut what he said with many different things, but just brushing it off as it doesn't matter, it's just something we're thinking about. So if anybody's watching this and you have conversations with people about veganism, like truly listen to them, and so they can feel that, and then maybe they'll listen to you. And so yeah, just something we're thinking about. All right, take care.